Was saying. So back to this Alexa thing real quick. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Sadior Presents Open Conversation Show here with Miss Dark Child, Simply D, myself, Mr. Mark 5, and we're going to have a guest host, and we also have a guest coming on in the 6:30, I was going to say the 6:30 hour, around 6:30, around 6:30, we have our guest come on. We're going to be discussing life insurance. With everything that's going on in the world, I think our last show we talked about getting someone to talk about life insurance, because I don't think that people have a clear understanding of how this life insurance thing works. When you think of life insurance, growing up, I always thought about death and you get money. That's it.
Right.
One thing I think about life in general is that we don't get educated enough with certain things that's needed and certain things that we should have when it comes to life, period.
That's correct.
You know, and we wasn't taught none of this stuff in school. I don't think, you know, Dark, did you take a life insurance class in high school?
Absolutely did not.
Or finances, or how to get off of, you know, unemployment.
Welfare? Absolutely did not.
Yeah, they didn't prepare us for certain things that we actually should be educated about.
That is correct.
So that's what open conversation is for. And like Dark say to Simply D, what the open conversation do? Look.
Educate, enlighten, and entertain.
Exactly. So back to you with this square and this circle and all this yelling at machines
you
in the background.
All a square, a circle, and all the other stuff. All right. Everybody knows the name. It starts with an A, because if I say it, then everything in the house is going to start going haywire.
Look, in your house and in my house.
Your house, this house, everybody's house. So I bought a fire stick, and my fire stick was running kind of slow. So I did the research on the fire cube. The fire stick only has 8K memory. The fire cube has 16K. So some of the buffing and the slowing down of the movies and stuff, it picks up faster. And you download more of your favorite apps.
Okay. So, what's up, Doc? I see you.
So
our favorite person, our favorite chicken. Well, I don't eat meat no more, so but our favorite chicken cooker is on the line.
Doc, don't get it twisted. I'm still a chicken eater. Undercover sister. So I bought one, and first of all, let me say, no way do they endorse us, but this product, for those people that don't know, this cube is 1,000% better than this stick. Better than this stick. It's faster. You get more stuff. You get more games. Come on. It costs a little bit more, but the way those people make it, Amazon makes it. They make it so it's affordable. So you can buy it and take $20 a month and pay it all off.
Right.
Do I endorse it and say it's well worth it? Absolutely, well worth it. Put it in one of your main bedrooms. Well, I hope you only got one main bedroom, but put it in your bedroom, especially being home. They got some programs on there. Listen, I don't pay for cable anymore. Cable costs too much money. $100 for cable. I got something called Uptick TV. Uptick TV. $60, 3 months. I got over 4,000 channels. The absolute best.
And how did you go about getting it?
I downloaded to my Fire Stick.
Okay.
Called Uptick TV. It used to be called Expedite, but they must have got too many people must have wanted it. So they changed the name to Uptick. So you go to upticktv.com, you subscribe, the 1 month free. They'll give you 7 days free to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But every 3 months, I give them $59. I'm cool. Movies coming clear. There's other little programs that you can download. There's something called Cinema TV. They got all the free movies. I done watched everything that's supposed to be out in the movie theaters. Comes clear 4K. It's just wow.
Now, do you need the Fire Stick in order to download it?
No, I think you can use other means besides the Fire Stick. I know that for sure. You don't have to have a Fire Stick. You can use something else.
It's called Uptick.
Uptick TV. And we've got rid of cable. Only thing you need is internet, because with the smart TVs now, you don't really need cable.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is internet. And you can have it on 5 devices. So I got it on my tablet. I got it on my telephone, one of my phones, because I was watching the Eagles game and I was a Masked Singer watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got it in my bedroom. I got it in the living room. And then that fifth place, I just didn't put it anywhere yet. But I've been having it now for almost a year.
And again, for those of us who don't know, who are dumb to this, what type of device do you need other than a Fire Stick?
I don't know. Open it up real fast, Tone, and you can be able to share with our listeners that Uptick, because it'll tell you to download it to boom, 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 boom. All I've ever known was downloaded it to my Fire Stick.
Mm.
I'm looking it up now.
So while Simply D looking up that, how was your week? We didn't even start off with asking how our weeks and stuff. 2 weeks.
Well, my week, listen, while he's looking that up, my week, everybody knows that I'm on cast, right?
Right.
I bragged about on Open Conversation the last week that we were here, the last week we were on, I bragged about it, and the company saw me bragging about it. So look, they sent me the 3.0 for free.
Yes, what's up?
Yo, so damn, I really want to see the 5.0. That Joe probably got a convertible knee cover and all types of stuff.
So this comes with a pedometer where you can track your time, your steps, and everything.
Yo.
So the 2.0 is over there in the corner. They happen to see me do a video and talk about it. So I'm gonna flip the camera so the people don't think, that
you making something up.
Open Conversation makes up anything, but there it is right there.
Yeah, you get any more, you're gonna need a damn knee. What are them things called? Knee brace.
What?
What are they called?
What kind of knee brace?
The what you just showed us. What's the name of them?
Oh, I walk.
You're gonna need an iWalk garage. You get any more?
Yeah. So this is the iWalk. I'm on the 3.0. This right here, for everybody to think that Open Conversation be making up stuff. This right here is the 2.0. Y'all see the numbers? There's iWalk 2.0.
They got
heard us on the radio, and they sent me the iWalk
3.0.
3.0.
Yo, can you believe it?
So I'm one of the beta testers.
Do I like it?
Do I like it? I love it. It's this should have been around years ago when crutches was out.
Well, they need to hold on to him because Simply D might need that same thing.
Yeah, well, this Simply D can simply take mine and be all right. Because this is listen, this thing right here,
You dark.
and the 3.0 is not even on. Wait a minute, let me turn y'all back around. The 3.0. Oh, I didn't get you turned around yet. Let me tap you.
You good? Oh, you must have tapped.
There you go. I'm back.
You know.
I tapped it twice.
There you go.
All right, the 3.0 is not even on the market yet.
Oh, you testing? No, they got you. Okay. Dang. We need to promote. Look. We need to promote some more stuff then, so we can start getting some free stuff. Look.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
That's what I said.
Look, they starting to send products to the crib. I like that hoodie too. That's a hoodie. Simply D.
Oh yeah, my sister Hope made this.
Hold it up.
It says
what it say? Never what?
Never underestimate the power of a dentist.
There you go. I like that. Shout out to Sis Hope. You know the shirt that I had on last night that said over it? She did that.
Yeah, so anybody want any hoodies, t-shirts, anything, you can hit up my sister Hope. She makes them, she'll get them to you.
Never underestimate the power of a dentist. Hey, that sounds funny because it sounds like you're talking about somebody to fix your teeth, but that's not even it. It's your last name.
Oh, the dentist. Well, I go to the dentist. Look, I go to the dentist next Thursday, and I hope they do take care of this root canal without too much pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this Uptick TV, the website, the web page, and everything for you to contact them, so that you can find out about this system, I guess.
But they should tell you how to just type in how to download Uptick TV, and it'll tell you whether it's a Fire Stick, a computer.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do that.
So while you do that, Simply D, we got our guest on. Miss Young just popped on. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
We doing
all right.
Good.
Excellent.
You have Miss Darkchild. You have Simply D on. That's I don't know where he placed that on here, but the other gentleman is on. That's Simply D. We welcome you to Sadior Presents Open Conversation Show. To give you a little bit about Sadior Open Conversation, we've been doing this streaming thing since 2013. Y'all know I went and did the research to find out exactly how long we've been on. Since 2013, it's a platform that we like to spotlight different entrepreneurs, different information, different people to the social media world, I guess you can say. And we're also on Sadior Radio, which is an internet platform which been around for 5 years now. So when I met you, when you reached out to me about some information, and it's funny that you reached out to me, I think I had this conversation with you, that last open conversation, we were talking about life insurance. Mm-hmm. And ever since everything that's been going on, I said, you know what? We need to bring that to the platform because some people, as I was saying earlier in the show, sometimes people aren't educated on things that they should be educated on. And some things we weren't taught, like life insurance and how to maneuver money, which I know you talk about also, which we can touch on that too, even though we are talking about life insurance. Also, if you are ready and you would like, you can touch on the money situation also. So
let me give a quick backstory.
If you don't keep still, Miss Darkchild, you making me dizzy. Keep still. He's like,
I am. I'm walking. I'm Miss Young. How you?
Hi, Queen. How are you?
I'm blessed. You live in the Philadelphia area?
Yes, I do. Okay. I grew up in Philadelphia. Been here all my life. I moved to Delaware like every other year, then come back.
Okay. Delaware does that to you. The reason I was asking, because last night on the news, yesterday afternoon, 2:50, you see somebody shot Ronalia 8 people were shot. So in the process of that conversation, usually every week we have some type of conversation where something has happened in the city. So we tend to talk about the financial part about it, money part about it, the life insurance part about it, because it's not until somebody passed away, that somebody did at Broadnami, passed away, get your financial affairs in order. Get them in order. So we come to you because none of us are experts on getting our financial affairs in order, even if it's for day-to-day life or it's for we pass on and what we leave to our heirs. So our question that we come to you with is enlighten us, enlighten our audiences to what you know about, if it's anything you understand about, what's that called? Not trading.
Investing, like stocks.
Investing, stocks, bonds, anything, any of that. This is what we're here for.
Well, thank you so much, Queen, for opening up the floor for me. I really appreciate that. This is what I talk about every single day. So just a little bit about myself. I've been in the financial industry for 2 years. Prior to me being in this industry, I had my own cleaning company where I was self-employed for years. I thought that was the best thing, not having to listen to anyone, being able to work and do my own thing. But I didn't really know, even though I was making good money with my service, I didn't know anything about how money works. And let's be honest, that's all of us. What do they teach us in school about money? They don't teach us that much except for about how to count. There's no real information on how you should put together your saving and investment program. So you're saving for emergencies while you're building a nest egg for retirement, as well as moving some money through generations, right? So all that information was definitely left me. So when I'm 33 now, when I was 31, that's when I was introduced to this information. And I was, like I said, I was already making good money. I was spending it every day, just like a rapper or something like that, because I was taught to just be generous, take care of the people around you, but not knowing how to structure my finances. So I sat down with who is my financial coach. He shared basic concepts with me that I never heard. And so many people that I talk to today, especially in our communities, haven't heard. And I'm surprised. They're teachers, doctors, lawyers. They're all of us. It's not just, this information isn't just kept out of one kind of people. They just do not educate us on personal finance. So absolutely, life insurance is huge. You know, that's the foundation of your finances because it's protection. It's called income protection, really, than life insurance. It should be protecting your family in the event that something happened to your income, which is your life, and you couldn't bring that money in anymore, and your family can still live on and not have to struggle. But what were we taught? Like the history of what they actually did in this country with life insurance is what really messed up the mindset behind how we operate business, how we think about expanding our money, using savings accounts properly, right? Using investment vehicles properly, and having our money in an individual retirement account where we're building money and experiencing compounding interest. So definitely, it's just unfortunate that we have these conversations about life insurance after someone passed away. Just like you said, that's when the conversation comes up. And of course, those big name companies that really just prey on our communities because they know that we're consumers, they prey on our communities with all of these commercials. You know, a lot of the names, the big names, I think you own some of their products. You know, we just are taught to just believe that they have our best interests when it comes to products like life insurance and different things like that. And people just, on average, they just believe that life insurance is life insurance. It must not be that many variations of it, but it is across the board. It's so many different policies they can put you in, and they pay the agent so well. Most people think, like, let me ask you a question. How much do you think, if you like paid for a life insurance policy, right? You were paying $100 a month. How much do you think that agent made off of that?
No one knows.
What would you think? Like, give it, like, just throw out any number. How much would you think if they sold you $100 policy? How much do you think that agent made off of you?
$10.
$10. See, $10. Somebody told me 50. The financial industry is very lucrative. It's one of the most highest paid industries in the entire world. That life insurance agent is making well over $700, $1,500, depending on what kind of contract they have with the company they're working with. So it's a lot of money in it. So they're really just gauging you to sell you a product where they can make enough money. Now, they're not questioning what your needs really are and how much life insurance you need and what it is. They're not giving that education. So it's so important that people know how life insurance works and know what kind of products they need as far as their own finances is concerned. So when it comes to purchasing life insurance, the first thing you want to think about is your risk level, right? Now, there's different risk levels depending on how your family is set up. So let's say you are a single parent, you work every day, you bring like $4,000 into your household each month. You have 2 children. You don't have any money saved. You're working paycheck to paycheck, right? And if something happens to you, your children are going to miss out on at least $2,000 of that $4,000 that you have coming in each month. So you need to replace that income with life insurance because you don't have that money sitting in the bank. But what should you be doing at the same time while you're purchasing this life insurance? You must be saving your money at the same time because you should be eliminating the need for life insurance. You should not be paying life insurance as you get older. You should be enjoying those investments and trickling it back into your family and your legacy, right? But there's so many different products out there. I mean, I can go into the ones that you shouldn't purchase, but I just want to really just talk about the ones that are best for people who are middle class America, people who are really working on building a good financial foundation for their family and for their future. But you guys just tell me where you want to go.
Tell us what's good.
Let's deal with, say, the average family, because the average family don't really know. So they're just going to take whatever is basically suggested to them.
Exactly. So all the big gurus, Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey, I mean, we can go on with the list. The only kind of life insurance you should be purchasing is a level product. And level means that you're going to lock into that rate for X amount of years, a term product. Now, has anyone on this call ever heard of whole life insurance? Does anyone have a whole life insurance product?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay. Well, they're outdated. Like, they're so outdated because they don't work the way that you think they work, because that savings component is attached to it. And most people think that they're going to get both or that money grows immediately, but it doesn't work like that. So what kind of life insurance should you have? You should have at least a 20-year level term, which means you're going to have 20 years of that income protection. So while you're working to build up your money, your savings and your investment and your assets, you have the protection you need just in case something unfortunate happens to your life before you're able to build up that money and your assets. Now, like I said,
a 20-year level term?
20-year level term. And I can give you way more information when we get off the call, but this is what I do complimentary for people every single day. I give financial education on all areas of your personal finance. But that 20-year level term, 20 years, you can think about anything that you do for 20 years. If you got on track right now and you had 20 years worth of money protection, like, listen, if I passed away, I know my family is going to be good, but I'm still going to work to build up my money. Now, those term products are very inexpensive. You shouldn't even be spending, 10%, 1%, 2% of your income on a life insurance program. It should be at least below $200. At least in most, if you're very young, because life insurance is based on 2 factors, your health and your age. And what a lot of people don't know is that if you have a criminal background, like a felony, and it's outside of 10 years, they can deny you a life insurance policy. You're too old, they won't give you life insurance, right? And some people are under the misconception that they have life insurance when they have these accidental death policies, which basically state that you have to die exactly the way it states, written in that policy, in order for them to pay your family out. So it's all of these different stipulations, like your hand has to come off this way and fly to the left. So it's so important that you know exactly what you have when it comes to life insurance, and that your family knows, and that you talk about that as well. But I recommend a 20-year level term product, and make sure that it is inexpensive. So splitting up what you can save every month, right? So let's say if you're saving $300 a month, you want to make sure that you're spending a fraction of that on your life insurance program, and then you're spending money to build your emergency account, right? That emergency account is in your savings because you're not making any money off of the money sitting in your savings, right? You're getting less than 0.3% in those savings accounts. And it is just like, it's astonishing. That means if you have $2,000 sitting in your savings account, it's going to take you 74 years before your money has one doubling period and turns into $4,000. How many 74 years do we have on this planet?
Not a lot.
That's true.
So my
One,
question
right?
to you,
So
my
you,
question,
Mhm.
my question to you is, there's a lot of people out here whose parents are up there in age. Myself, all three of us, the host here at Open Conversation, our parents are up in age. So, there's people. I just had an aunt who passed away. What kind of policy should they have in terms of, in case something happens to them, so that the funeral is paid for, and, excuse the expression, the nigga don't come out in the niggas.
Oh yeah, I mean, I listen. Look, I told you exactly where I'm from, and that's exactly, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, but what we have to do with our community, first and foremost, we have to get involved in that life insurance conversation when they are younger, because you could get it at the lowest rate, right? For way more protection, right? But if we didn't, and let's say they're older in age, just like your concern is, you want to make sure they at least have $15,000 of coverage, right? Some kind of product that'll cover them for 15, at least 15, to put them in the ground properly. And then you have to find out how much debt they're carrying, because that debt will transfer over to whoever is going to take over their estate, right? So they need some money in their policy for the debt, as well as to bury them properly. And those policies, they can get another, like I said, a term product. They will have to sit down with a professional like myself and really find out what kind of options they have to go through it, because everyone is individual. Just because you're 65 years old, that doesn't mean that you have health issues. So you still may be able to be approved for life insurance, but I'm just not, I can't tell you the exact amount that they would have. But my rule of thumb is, if you are older in age and you didn't save enough money, like $15,000 to $50,000 for a burial, you want to make sure you at least have that in life insurance coverage, so that your family can take care of those final expenses. Now, as you're younger and you have children, of course, your needs are way higher, right? Because you have to replace that income over at least, 23 years if your baby's 1 year old. So
right.
it's,
We see Alex Trebek in the commercial, and he says, get life insurance. $1,000, $19 a month will get you $15,000 in life insurance, and da.
Can I help you out with this one?
Real quick, let me introduce you. We have a guest that came on. She came on. I didn't want to stop you because a couple of people had questions and they wanted to talk more so once they noticed that the topic was about life insurance. And her mother is part of the Sadior Radio, so that's one of the reasons why I say it is all right, because you family. Go ahead. What was you saying?
And we got the same last name. How you doing, Queen?
I was looking at that. I was going to say, what area do you currently service?
I'm licensed in the tri-state area, Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and I have licenses in North Carolina and Arizona and Nevada. I have licenses everywhere I know someone. The good thing about having your life insurance license, you only have to take that test one time, and then you're able to get it in whatever state you want it in, just by paying a fee.
Right. I'm licensed here in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and North Carolina as well. I have to renew in Ohio. So, yep.
That's awesome. Okay, how long have you been in the industry?
Now that y'all done with the family reunion.
I know, I'm looking at the last name. Oh, I'm gonna be quick because I know y'all talking about stuff, but I've been in the business since 2015, kind of off and on. When I was 25, I'm 31 now. When I first came on board, I seen, you know, how much money that can be made, the need for it in our community. As far as with me, my grandmother taught me about it growing up. If she didn't have nothing but $5,000 on each one of my cousins, she had coverage on someone. You know what I mean? So growing up, I knew the importance of it. Within these last couple years, I've been getting more serious with it and building a brand and stuff. So I do have my cousin. We work together as well, and she's licensed, and we have a little like a LLC company that
don't call it little. That little.
You took the words right out my mouth.
You don't need an adjective.
I apologize for even speaking it. But definitely, I'm starting up. It's good to see somebody in the area, you know, giving out the advice that is needed, especially, you know, during the times we're living in, and just how cheap it can be. Like, even with some people that's older, you know, if they're in good health, you still can get like a good policy for a good amount, first day coverage and stuff like that. But you're doing good. I'm gonna let you keep on explaining, and I hope
So now, wait a minute, real quick, because I want to put y'all on the seat, because I want to ask questions that I think that some people will ask, because this is not a normal, oh, I want to be a basketball player, or I want to be, you know, what made you come to this business? Like, people don't sit around and say, oh, I think I'm gonna be a life insurance. I'm gonna get, you know, so give some information on what brought you to this industry.
So like I said, I had no clue about this industry. I came from, you know, just learning, you work hard and you make money, right? So I started a cleaning company back when I was 20 years old. So I've been cleaning and just doing residential cleaning amongst my family referral base for years. And I was making good money on my own, right? But I didn't know anything about the financial industry because, again, I didn't work for an employer. So I never heard about like life insurance products or 401k plans, retirement funds, different things like that, because I was always self-employed and not a really good boss of myself, right? So I was just, you know, one of my girlfriends got, like, thank God for her. She knew about, you know, different products you're supposed to have, services you're supposed to have as an individual in business and just in life. So she hooked me up with who is my finance coach. I sat down with him for lunch and he exposed this industry to me. The way he first did it was I became a client of his, and then I just asked him, like, you know, he was sharp. I'm like, it don't seem like, I just asked the question, right? Because most of us don't ask the question. We just like, whatever, you know, it don't seem like this could.
So let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. So who paid for the lunch?
Listen, I paid for the lunch. Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. I paid for the lunch because I had to look like I was balling a little bit, and he gave me some great advice. He hooked me up with somebody to get my LLC to start building my business credit. So I was, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, at that time, I literally had to transfer my last bit of money from my savings account over into my check-ins to pay for that lunch, but we got it done. And I would just keep in contact with him, and he was always flying around. So I asked him, like, you know, it seems like you make good money doing what you do. How long do I have to go back to school to do that? He was like, you come to my office, I'll train and develop you. Boom, opened up a whole new world to financial services that I didn't even know existed, all from asking that question, right? It's all about exposure. A lot of people think that in our communities, people are, you know, they choose basketball playing and singing and all of this stuff because of no other reason than exposure. This is the only industries that we're exposed to. So of course, people think that that's the only way they can make money. The financial industry has made, in the last 2 years, the most $1 million earners than any industry. It is extremely lucrative. It's crazy. So I mean, look, when I seen the money after that, it was, you can't convince me, because I told you I came from scrubbing floors. So you don't have to tell me. If I sat down with my sister, helped her with a life insurance policy, made $600, I scrub a floor for 2 hours and make 300. So I was done. I was sold. Put on a shirt. I was sold. I was done. So, and then from seeing that they were African American, they were Black, they looked just like me, they were professional, their mindset. It's just from that asking questions, that's all I can really say about that.
Right. The other Miss Young, what made you come into business?
For me at the time, it was 2014. I was working a little bit past Sesame Street, living like all the way in Philly, going all the way up there to work for like $10 an hour, $400 a week, which was just not getting it for me. So while I'm at work, I was online, which I shouldn't have been, looking for another job at my job. So I did that, but so I'm doing that, and I come across this company and I see somewhat of what they're talking about, because their pitch necessarily didn't say that they were like a life insurance company, but it was like how they worded it. You know, you can help families out if, you know, someone was to pass away or become disabled, and, you know, information like that. So I said, let me give this a try, see what they're talking about. I go to the office and I'm in the parking lot and I'm seeing some nice whips out here. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good sign. So I go in and I meet everyone. And the meeting, if they have another meeting going on, they have a hiring meeting going on. But the meeting they have going on was like the daily meeting they have before they start like booking the calls and everything in the office, just to talk about how much people work that week. So the energy was like Wolf of Wall Street, but not like not like in a bad way, but like in an exciting, motivating way. You know, people are there, they're talking about business, they're talking about money, they're talking about helping people. So seeing all of that, and like I said, coming up, seeing the car, I said, okay, let me, you know, give this a shot. And it was a little bit different because it wasn't an hourly amount where, you know, okay, I go to work, I'm guaranteed this 15 an hour or whatever. Is I'm going out, I have to see and protect the family. You know, I have to do what I have to do, or, you know, I'm not going to eat. But for the most part, it sells itself, because everybody is going to one day eventually pass away. So you need that money. That's one of the worst things they have to go through, is to have someone pass away and not have any money for it. You know, have family fighting, and just it's a mess. It's a mess. So to be able to do that and alleviate that issue for a lot of people and educate them and let them know that the product that definitely doesn't cost a lot. Yeah, that's what got me in. That's what definitely.
So okay, now we're going back up screen. So let me ask you, I know that when you reached out to me, it was more so let me ask you this. Let me see how I can word this. As you reaching out to people with the feedback that you're getting, are you starting to get people during this time, as far as with this whole, I call it the C19 time, is people paying more attention to it now?
You asking me?
Yes.
I think that people are home, so they're asking, you know, they're able to sit down. It's way more accessible than it was before, because my business was drive to your house, drive to my office from Delaware to Philadelphia, an hour, and drive around and give this information to people. But now it's turned 100% virtual, and now I can meet with anyone across the United States in a snap of a finger. So how accessible it is, the information, yes, it went up. People have way more time. They have time to sit at home and get the information from you. So
I usually do this at the end of the show, which I'm going to do this at the end of the show too, but give your information, you know, since we got a bunch of people on, how they can get in contact with you, as far as if they wanted to know more information about everything.
Yeah, cool. So my Facebook is Sima Young, SIMAYOUNG. And you can hit me on Instagram too. It's Sima Young as well, SIMAYOUNG. And you can post my number. Like, people are already calling me. So if you want to contact me directly, it's 302-743-5311.
Okay. Simply D, you got something that you wanted to ask?
No, I'm trying to look up on Facebook. So for those of us that are slow, say it again.
Say it again. Say your Facebook.
I'm sorry. It's SIMA.
See, I had something different. SIMA.
Yep. S as in Sam. I as in Island. I want to be on M as in Mary, A as in Apple, Young.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let me just ask either you a question about the financial part. Most folks that are listening to us, they're hearing the words, but they're not hearing it. What they want to know and what people want to know is, if grandmom dies, where do I get the money to bury grandmom? And how do we stop them from acting like they acted? When people start fighting, I mean, we can't control people from fighting over money because that's what they're going to do. But to some extent, if you got it's Johnny gets the house, Mary gets the car, Uncle Ted gets the living room set, some of that will decrease. How do
I mean,
go ahead.
So, I mean, the only way you can do it, in my opinion, is through financial literacy. Most people argue about money because, first and foremost, nobody's doing family meetings anymore. Nobody's sitting around talking about money anymore, talking about the will. Like, what is going, does grandmom even have a will? Does grandmom have a life insurance in place? Because you'll be surprised. A lot of the elders, they already have these things in place, but they don't talk about it because in their time, it was taught to not talk about these things because somebody could set you up and hurt you, right? So we're dealing with so many layers in the Black community that covers up with life insurance. But the only way we can overcome it is people understanding that these products aren't even expensive. You can get a will in place, you could get life insurance, you could start saving for emergencies, start building an investment vehicle, and save for retirement with $300 a month or less. You can do that. You can really get it done. But I think it's just the disbelief. So then we run and we don't have these conversations. Everybody's finances are already in disarray. Everybody's working paycheck to paycheck, don't know what to do with their money. So the last thing they want to do is have a conversation about something that they're already feeling bad about. So it's just making that conversation as simple as possible. Like, listen, don't sit here and say to me that it's none of my business. And if you pass away, they're going to ask me for $100 and $200 for a burial that costs $15,000. And it's embarrassing when we could have taken care of that for less than $50 a month. So it's just having those difficult conversations with our family members and friends. And they are difficult because in our communities, we are taught to not talk about this stuff. It's none of your business until it's time for us to post RIP. Now it's everybody's business, a RIP post or, sponsor this GoFundMe. It's completely embarrassing because we don't talk about it. And like you said, people aren't hearing it. This one time they hearing about it is not going to be enough. We have to keep talking about money in our communities on a constant basis, especially with the United States government owing us reparations, right? So it's so many layers of that conversation that needs to be happening. But how do we stop from arguing about money, having more conversations about it, making it more comfortable before we deal with tragedies? Because we're taught to survive. So we're always in survival mode, always worrying about that. And then as soon as something breaks, what do we know to do? Fight each other? Because now nobody ever seen $15,000 on a piece of paper. And they're like, oh no, this is mine. They didn't deal with their credit, so this is mine. Everyone wants to get in that mindset of taking. So, I mean, my fight every day, and that's why I give this information complimentary and free, is because I know my community needs it. It completely changed my life and so many other people around me. There is no way that this is not the cure. Knowing how your money works so that every year you're seeing your money grow. That alone is going to lower stress. Most of our stress is because of money issues. Now, you cannot tell me that if you've seen your money grow every single month, every 6 months, every quarter, right? Every year, you're in a better stance than you were previously. That's not going to help with the anger that we have in our communities. Because if you look at any of the statistics around violence, it is equal to what's going on as far as poverty. Poverty and violence go hand in hand. So until we deal with the poverty issue, we're going to constantly experience all of this violence in our communities, because people are doing all of these things to find out how they're going to do basic survival needs when we're spending the money already. We have the money. The issue is not that we don't have the money. We have it, we're just not using it properly.
All right, hold that thought for 1 second real quick. Let me make sure everybody understand you're listening to Sadior Radio, the station that's more than music. For our podcast listeners, you're listening to Sadior Radio. Everybody on Facebook, if you just jumped on and you want to catch this show an hour after the show, you can go to YouTube and search Sadior Radio and catch it from beginning to the end. So my question, because you just went into finances, and if possible, because we talked about life insurance, but I want to talk more about the finances. And it's funny because that's what I was waiting for us to go in that direction, and you started. So what exactly do you and your company do when it comes to finances? Give them a little bit about what you do, because I have 4 people already I'm watching on Facebook that said they're going to reach out to you because they want to know more about life insurance, stuff like that.
Excellent. So the first thing that I want to just say about that, we can't separate. Life insurance is a part of your finances.
One
if
second.
You
don't say nothing yet, because I want to make sure people understand something. One thing that I try to do is, and everybody that watches us and follow us know that I don't have gray area. I'm not going to have her on here, even though she says she give information and all that. I thank you for that. But let's get understanding. She's on here as a guest. She has a business to run. So if you want to know all the deep details, don't be inboxing me, asking me to ask certain questions, because this is a business also. Reach out to her, schedule an appointment, and find out the information that you need. I'm just bringing, her on so that way y'all can get a taste of what she can help you with, and I think us as people, and I'm saying Black people, we know that we need stuff, but we don't go get it. Every first and third Thursday, and we've been doing this for a long time, bringing people on, giving information and telling you to get with these people. People watch the show, they be entertained. They like Miss Darkchild telling her jokes because she's a comedian, Simply D and me, and we entertain y'all, and y'all get the information, but y'all do not follow up until the last minute when somebody, God forbid, pass away, or you grade lose your house because you didn't work your money right, or you didn't do things right, and then you want to reach out. We have to start proacting instead of reacting as people. So I'm sorry, I just had to do that real quick so people.
No, I mean that was needed, definitely needed, because it's
go
just
ahead.
the
I'm sorry, I didn't
proactive.
catch you. You got the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you for saying that, honestly, because that's just truth. We have to just work before or just work during, because really we don't want to ask any questions when we're in too deep either. We think it's just going to go away some way, but you definitely just. The simplest way I can explain like the whole financial services, right? You need certain services depending on where you are, right, in your life. So it's going to vary. But as far as a whole financial game plan, which is what I focus on, right? I focus on making sure that people have the protection they need when they have it, part of your finances, right? Making sure that people have an emergency fund. That's at least 3 times your monthly expenses sitting in your savings account. A lot of people are using their credit cards for emergencies, like, oh, I'm supposed to use you're not. The average interest rate on credit cards is 20%. Why would you set up your finances to be behind like that? So you want to start making sure that you're at least building an emergency fund or that you have one in place. And then some people will sit here and boast how they got $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 sitting in a savings account. That is extremely dangerous as well. It's called overusing your savings account because that money is not working for you there. You might as well just go ahead and just give your bank an interest-free loan because they're using that money to go and flip it, giving out credit cards and loans. Now, the other account you need is a mutual fund, some kind of index fund. These are all basically accounts where you have multiple stock options, right? Not stock options, but multiple stocks underneath one fund. So where your able to increase the money you're making. They're averaging at least 12% rate of return. So that's the difference between your money having a doubling period every 74 years and doubling every 6 years, right? So that's where you would start putting money so that you're saving to pay off debt. You're saving to go on that fabulous vacation or to buy that business. And then you have your retirement account in place. Your retirement account is, of course, your 401k plan at work. That's an employer-sponsored retirement fund. Or you have your IRA, an individual retirement account. And I recommend the Roth because you put the money in, it's taxable, but as those gains grow, it's tax-free when you take it out at retirement age. Now, what do most people do? They have their 401k plan and just a savings account, right? So when things start going bad, they start pulling from their 401k, which my coach always says it's the most expensive money you can ever use. You should have things in place so you're not touching that money. So let me give an example. Let's say you only had $100 you could save each month. Your emergency account is not built yet. You want to put $50 in your savings account, 25 in your mutual fund or your index fund, whatever, your 25 into your retirement fund. As soon as your emergency account is built, maxed out at 3 times your monthly expenses or a little bit more cushion if you need it, don't put another cent in your savings account. Roll that $50 over into your short-term goal account and your retirement fund. The biggest problem is paying that high cost of waiting. You wait too long and your money, you're going to have to save so much more money in your older years to catch up. So we're not taught how to put together that savings and investment plan when we're younger, so that as we're older, we can keep up with that $300 and know that we're going to have $500,000 to $1 million saved by retirement. Because we've been doing this since we were young, but we don't tell people how to structure that savings program. So to me, that's the most important thing, just knowing where you stand and understanding that you can change your life in 12 months financially if you get on a serious plan. I'm not talking about thousands of dollars. People are like, I'm gonna come sit down with you soon when I have $1,000. Don't come sit down with me when you don't have anything yet, because you need to get a game plan. Nobody puts, like, if you're going somewhere, you put an address in your GPS, right? You don't sit there and be like, I kind of want to go around the corner. I want to go up the street, something like that. You can't put that in a GPS. And neither can I structure a financial game plan for you if you don't know what your goals are. So people have to start dreaming again, start really thinking about where they want to be 20 years from now, and have a clear, concise goal of it, and then put a game plan in place and then work towards the money that you need. Our work ethic is not the issue, but having, having the idea that you could actually accomplish these things, that's not exposed to our people, and it's real. You can really do some damage if you start changing your habits now.
Ms. Darkchild, you got something? You muted. Unmute yourself.
Hold up.
Simple.
The one question that I had, she already answered it.
So if you die, somebody takes over your debt?
Yes.
Yeah, your spouse.
Somebody got to go and sign for you. What do they?
Yep.
And somebody is going to transfer, listen, they're not playing. They're not playing about their money.
Yeah, your debt doesn't go away. Your debt does not go away. Somebody has to pay.
It's going to transfer to whoever next in line to you. Maybe your oldest child, whoever. Someone's going to take on that debt.
Simply.
Wow.
What did you guys say, Simply?
The one question I had, she answered, and that was about people putting all their money in a savings account, thinking that that's the only place to save money. So she already answered that question. I was going to ask her to elaborate a little bit more on that, but she already did.
Yeah, you do not want to overuse a savings account. They're getting you. I always tell people, you would let your mama, your best friend, your cousin, no one do what we allow banks to do with our money. Like, okay, listen, your mom say, look, baby, I know you got the money. I want to start this business. Give me $2,000. Anytime you want your money, you can come and pull out as much as you want, put it back and forth whenever you want. And in 74 years, I'm going to give you back $4,000. But next month, I'm going to make $100,000 off of your money. Then I'm going to double it to 2, double it again to 4, 8, 16. The list goes, they keep on making all this money. How do you think the banks make their money? They use the power of accepting interest, getting that compounding interest. We are constantly taught, work harder, work harder, work harder. That's how you're going to make your riches. Yeah. You look around, that's not how people are making their riches. They're making their money work harder for them because they know their money is never going to get tired. Mm-hmm. Their money can go and do things that you could never do with your physical being. So us understanding interest and compounding interest is so important. And again, I always make sure that people understand, don't feel bad about what you know right now. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, don't feel bad about it. They didn't tell us, and they purposely kept it out of our communities. And anytime we were gaining in the economic front, they came in and brought some drugs in, you know, did some kind of disasters to our community so that we can be distracted from what the actual focus has to be. And that's ownership and making sure that we're actually building real money.
Real quick, did you know when insurance, well, I don't want to say first started, but when us Black people were able to get it, we were only able to get about $5,000 for the policy. Talking to my grandparents in their 80s, when they got their policies, they were only able to get at max $5,000 for coverage. Mm-hmm.
And they was doing even worse. I've heard of those stories, and even the ones when people were dying, they were disputing those policies so hard, they weren't even paying it out. So a lot of people think that Black people just don't want to buy life insurance. Black people don't believe in life insurance. It's because of things like that trickled in of how they were treating us when we, like those years ago, and how many people are really giving that real information of what's going on now. It's horror stories when it comes to life insurance and the history in the African-American families. But now it's not like that. That's completely outdated. We have so many people that look like us on the forefront. It is no reason why you should not be having your things in order because you can afford it. When I do budgets with people and sit down, they always like, oh, I don't know when I'm spending my money. Now we have it's this app that I use and I get them good now. Cause I'm like, how much you spending on this? How much you spending on that? And then when I look at how much money they made, they don't know where $2,000 went. This app that I use, it does the budget and it literally tells you where you're spending your money. Where is it coming from? And it's normally people just going out to eat, people buying frivolous things. They don't even know where that thing is. But when you show them in a financial calculator how much that money would have been worth a couple years from now, people start feeling some kind of way. They start feeling like they're robbing themselves. So everyone just doesn't feel anything with the absence of value, right? You have to be able
just
to
made me feel bad. I want to close my savings account.
No, don't close it. I didn't say close it. I did not say close or salvage that savings account. It's one of your 3 buckets. You need a savings and investment bucket system. It's 3 of them. Your emergency account, that's your savings account. You should only have 3 times your monthly expenses in there because you just need to touch that money and it needs to be secure, not under a mattress, right? So when you have an emergency, you can use that money and not use credit cards. Then you want to have that short-term goal in your retirement fund in place at the same time.
You know what? And it's funny you say that. I don't use credit cards at all. I've never used credit cards at all because credit cards, I was always taught get you in trouble. You buy things that you don't want. A credit card makes you an impulsive shopper.
Well,
you see that? You don't have $200 in your pocket. You see them Alexander McQueen sneakers and you want them. You put that money down. By the time you finish paying them off on the credit card, Alexander McQueen then became Alexander King. And you don't even want them and
Nope.
don't
And they
need them.
old now. Like, you know, nobody even, the Alexander ain't even showing on the shoe. They like, is that last season? And they're not even worth anything.
Right.
That's it nowadays.
But yeah.
Things change so fast. So fast.
Credit.
I got one credit card, and that's truly in case of an emergency situation. I go somewhere, I lose my passport or I need it. Boom, I got cash. If I don't have that much on me, I can use it. It's truly emergency.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That is like what credit cards, thinking about them using them for an emergency is the wrong mindset though. Because credit cards are really good when it comes to just being able to be in a position to use other people's money so that you can stockpile yours and not have to touch it, but have the money. Most people use credit cards like, okay, I'm gonna use it if I have an emergency. You want to use credit cards while you have the money so you can use somebody else's money and never touch your money, right? So you want to keep on building that credit, but you have to, like you said, it is a death trap. It is a trap for a lot of people because of their management skills, their money management mindset, right? People's mindset is not prepared to look at credit as if it's, oh, I have the money, but I want to use somebody else's, right? And pay it off and keep on building so you can have more credit and be able to be in a position to buy even bigger things, right? So you don't touch your money, you're securing it, you're protecting it basically. So most people they still have that philosophy. Credit cards are used for emergencies.
Let's do something real quick. Give me, let's say I'm interested, right? Let's say everything I'm hearing is like, wow, I do need to make some changes. I do need to change my mindset. I do need to pay more attention to where I'm moving finances and the life insurance. Give me 5 steps. I'm new. I talk to you. Give me 5 steps that I need to do before let's do it this way. Wait a minute. Let's back up. Let's do it this way. Before I even sit down with you, what do I need to get together before I call you? Instead of calling saying, yeah, I want life insurance. It's like, what do I?
You called me.
I'm gonna give you 3 of them. Put the blunt down. Don't take the perks 2 days before you call her. And 3, babies, the kids, and an annoying girlfriend out of the background.
That's 3 very important ones. What's next? There you go.
You know what? I've been known to overcome at least 2 of them. The blunt and the annoying girlfriend. Now the perks, I don't know. Some people just be itching and doing a little too much, falling asleep. I'm gonna need you to be alert, right? But before you call me, you just need to call me. I know how to set it up because I have to get some general information from you. First and foremost, I need to know if you have income coming in right now, right? Because that's the first thing you probably have to address. Because a lot of people don't have any money coming in. So do you have any money coming in? All right, first and foremost, you have money, great. Do you have children? If you say, yes, I have children, okay, great. Then what are your financial goals and dreams? What are you trying to accomplish by this time next year? Where do you have to see yourself? And then what is your 5-year financial goals? What do you want, right? In 5 years. And then I ask them, do you have life insurance in place, right? If they say no, then I have that information. And then I ask them if they have any kind of investments with work or outside of work. So all you have to do is call me. I make it very simple because, let's just be honest. Talking about money is extremely emotional. We already know people are known to, get killed over money. Some horrible things happen when it comes to talking about money, and people feel a guard about that. So I just try to make people feel as comfortable as possible. And of course, it's completely confidential. I'm not going to tell anybody you had your blunt in your hand or your girlfriend was getting on my nerves or your boyfriend, or, you can ask me any kind of questions you want. I just know how to take somebody from A and get them all the way to Z, okay? So I just literally just have to find out individually who you are, what you have going on. And me, I don't care. I'm going to make money. I make money off of having my agents. I make money, enough money for myself. My main thing is I work strictly off of referrals. So I have to do you right. If I don't do you right, are you going to tell anybody about me?
So I got a question because it just popped up on Facebook. So say I'm not working right now, right? Should I still call or no?
If you're not working right now, call me because I need to figure out where you can get to work. You
Right.
need money, right?
Right. So
Like,
basically,
if you're not working right now, look, anything with your finances, if you're flatline, even if you're a doctor, a lawyer, it doesn't people be like accountants are not financial advisors. They are different, right? They help you with your taxes. A lot of people like, I got to go ask my accountant. No, you don't ask your accountant about this. It's a totally different license, all right?
do me a favor.
I sell blunts, weeds, and perks. You asked me if I got income.
What
can you do for me?
Nothing.
Do me a quick favor, real quick, not to cut y'all off. Give me your information because somebody just posted your number. They need your number, your email, and everything of that. As far as give your information.
It's 302 743 5311.
And that's how you reach it because somebody asked for the number again.
Yeah.
I
mean, just call me. Like, I know it's a solution to whatever your financial issue is, but it's the mindset again. A lot of people don't want to sit down with professionals because they think it's too expensive, right? Or, there's no way for them to be able, they're not ready yet. And that's the worst thing you could do for yourself. And I would never want to create my atmosphere like that, right? I came from somebody
and it's intimidating.
Yeah, and it's exactly that intimidation, and it doesn't have to be there. I know I went and fixed and slicked my edges and did all this, but look, I can go out in the street with the best of them. But I'm just so grateful that I'm able to.
You didn't slick your edges with Gorilla Glue, did you?
No. I'm not gonna get no go fund me for nobody helping me after she done did it.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you ain't use Gorilla Glue to put your edges down.
Well, I sent you a request on Facebook, so accept it.
Okay, excellent.
So what again? And I say this, I don't have no filter. Everybody that know me, I'm not being cold-hearted or nothing. But again, what we have to do is stop dragging our feet, stop being scared, make a move. Some things are for us, some things are not. But you won't know if it's for you or not if you don't reach out. And I don't understand how something like finances, since everybody basically wants to make money and they paying money out and they want to have more money, is not for you. I mean, I don't, it's like, how do you say, no, I don't want to make no more money. No, I don't care about where my money go. I've never heard that statement before ever in my life. So, it's an opportunity to get information, and information that's not taught to us, that's not given to us. And that's one thing a lot of people complain about where we're at far as life with technology and different things, but we have so much access to things that we didn't have years ago that we need to take advantage of.
I mean, and the distractions are there as well, right? We have so much access, but we also have so many distractions.
That's true.
People can basically do whatever they want and live their own kind of worlds online. And, most people are falling into the advertisements, unfortunately, but I would just encourage everyone to just make sure you're asking questions about that person's angle, because a lot of the influencers are encouraging people to buy these crazy expensive things, expensive life insurance policies that they would not have purchased themselves when they were in that financial position. So you definitely want to just ask questions. Like, I just encourage everyone to get comfortable with asking questions. Ask more questions, ask another question about that. I completely welcome them. The more questions you ask, the more you're able to really know what you're doing. And remember, this is about your entire life. It's not just about today. So, I
got two things for you. Somebody said they want to retire early. You can help with that, correct?
Absolutely.
Second thing, how about if somebody said, well, I have life insurance at my job. I thought about a conversation that we had. That's what made me bring that up. How about somebody say, oh, well, I already have life insurance through my job. What do you say?
First of all, it's not your job, it's the job.
Mm-hmm.
Please, can we stop calling it my job? Because if they want to, this is the quickest question I ask them. Is there any way that you could be fired?
Boom. Wow.
Is there any way you can tell me there's no way that they can fire you? Most people are saying, yeah, it's a way. I mean, they do whatever they want, right? Listen, it's so unstable. It makes no sense. The life insurance at work, it costs what, $1 or $2. Take their program. Some people even get it free. Take their program, but make sure you have your personal life insurance that you own does not determine whether or not you work at a place. Because remember, life insurance is based on health and age. If you don't lock it in at your youngest, most healthiest rate, let's say you wait 20 years, you've been working a job, they lay you off, you have no life insurance. Now you have to start life insurance 20 years older. Who knows what your health is going to be like? So you're subject to spending a lot of money for life insurance when you need to be focused on how can I pay the least amount for life insurance so I can save and invest the majority of my money.
Second question, how many policies do you recommend?
One.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Simply D is probably the oldest person I know on earth.
Okay, here we go.
No. So if you know somebody that's up there in age, myself, I'm in my 50s.
Okay.
Now you telling me about life insurance. I got kids around, they around. Something, God forbid, something happened to me. I want to be buried nicely. I want to get into a rent-a-casket business because, once they put you in that dirt and y'all walk away, they dig you back up, transfer you over to that box, and resell that casket to the next family. So my question is, all that to look good, what do I need to do right now to make sure that I am buried nice? Because Black folks tend to say, I just want to be cremated. And a lot of that cremation comes from because it costs too much to bury somebody. And it does. $5,000, $20,000 for somebody. I just did a funeral for one of my clients, and the question that the gentleman asked was, well, how much money does he have in the bank? Because we can give him a nice funeral based on how much he got in the bank.
Because maybe they're gonna do some kind of burial loan or something like that.
No, he got 2,000, they gonna bury him for 2,000. They're gonna take all that money. They wanted flowers. We can sell them some flowers. They 7,000. They was $700. I don't want no $700 flowers to do what? He can't see them.
I would say you want to make sure, you want to go and sit down. Like, I can talk to you after this because I would have to get some information from you that's personal, but you want to sit down with someone who sells life insurance, who can sit down with you and find out if you can be approved for a policy, and then find out how much money you could be spending for your life insurance. And then still, you're 50, you're still young. Like, you still have time to build some money up. You still have time to live a really good life. Look, black don't crack. We already know that. So you want to make sure that you're saving some money as well. So what I would say to you is definitely sit down with someone. I don't mind talking to you and giving you some advice on, what it would take for you to get protected. Because like I said, if you have different, and that's another thing with our communities, if you're taking certain medications, too many of them, they're not going to approve you for life insurance. If you have diabetes, taking
Give me an
insulin.
example. I don't have none of them, but give us some example of certain medications.
So certain
Or do it this way. Give the sicknesses that goes into questionable.
okay, so let's say someone has let's say they have high blood pressure and they're basically experiencing that they're overweight at the time as well. They take more than 3 pills for their high blood pressure and they have diabetes, 2 different types of issues. They have heart issues, any like nervous issues,
cardiac issues,
anything with your health. Because what you want to think about, life insurance, right? They're taking on your risk that if you pass away, they have to pay your family X amount of dollars, right? So they're going to make sure that you're not going to pass away anytime soon, right? And that the risks are as low as possible. So if you had like cancer, unfortunately, and you haven't been in remission for 7 years, and some companies 9 to 10 years, you may not be approved for a certain kind of policy. Like I said, again, it's different kind of policies out there. There are some agents that have some high risk policies, but you must understand and read that policy, because some policies state that they don't pay out the full death benefit until you had that policy for 2 to 5 years. All they do is reimburse you what you put into the policy. So you have to just really be in a position to read what it is. But as far as I'm concerned, I asked you all of those questions, but you have to be in pretty good health and shape. But if you have just diabetes and you're taking 1 pill, I've seen people get protected with that, with high blood pressure, taking 1 pill. The things that can happen is your policy can be rated, which means that it can cost more money than was quoted to you because they decide you're at a higher.
That man on TV, he lied. The one that says Alex Trebek, when he says locked in, fixed rate, doesn't matter your age, everybody's protected.
My question is, what are you protected with? Like I said, I've never called Alex Trebek. I know that commercial faintly.
Well, you can't call him now because he did, but I get you.
I know that commercial faintly, but what I know about the financial industry and life insurance companies, it's something to it. Either they're not paying that policy out until you had it 5 years. Maybe they're giving you only like 8,000 of coverage. I don't know much about what he's actually offering to speak on that, but I know for a fact there's something with it. You should always think in your mind, why would someone give me money, all this money for $10 a month, right? Something happened to me. Why would they give me all this money for $10 a month?
So let me say a couple of things real quick. One, I have a lot of respect for you because you said you should talk to someone. Right. And that shows that, I like to highlight certain things. You said you should talk to someone. And then you said, if you want, you can talk to me. That shows that you love what you do, because you didn't say, come see me. No, I just want to highlight. I know certain things, but I try to highlight for people that didn't catch it, that they know that you love what you do. You just want people to be protected. You want people to get the knowledge. To know what's going on, because you have the knowledge and behind the curtain. You're trying to have everybody learn what's behind the curtain. Two, I want to say,
no, I peeped that too, Mark.
Hold up. And my next statement is about you, Miss Darkchild. For those who don't know, Miss Darkchild is a comedian. So, because I see people like, oh my goodness, like she's a comedian. If you don't know, follow her. Go to one of her shows. She's been in that business for a long time. She does her thing. So let's get that understood. Right. Highlight for people that don't know. The third thing I want to do.
It's never any intention to offend anybody.
No.
Sometimes we have to change the narrative. Oh no, I'm just saying we just need to change the narrative and change it's death is a very hard subject to talk about.
Absolutely.
So it's never trying to lighten the moment, but it is to try to make it so that it does become what we call ourselves as an open conversation. So we try to add it, and it's always people. Listen, y'all think it is what it is. People say it. Listen, I'm selling perks. She said, come to me when you got an income. There's somebody listening who think selling perks and weed is an income.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right.
They don't know at the end of the day. Something going. Listen, we know what happens, so pay attention. But I peep what Mark said to you. Said also, you ready to get this information, but you're not asking for anything. Yeah, I could talk to you later after this, or my services. You're not there. You're more so. Listen, some things y'all need to do. Get right. Go to social touch. Look, you said accountant ain't the person you need to go to talk to this. You're giving basic knowledge. And I appreciate that.
I appreciate
y'all.
I definitely do. And someone said, why one policy? I guess they're curious because you hear some people saying, oh, you should get 2 or 3 policies for this and that, because I've heard that.
Because you can have one policy with the entire amount that you need. Why would you have multiple policies? Each different policy, you're paying a policy fee on it. So you're paying an additional $12 a month just in a policy fee, when you could just have one policy that protects your entire family, and you know where it is. It's outside of the way. It's with a company that you trust, that is solvent, right? That can pay out what they say they're going to pay out. And then you spend the rest of your money on building a savings and investment vehicle, because we're dealing with the risks of life, right? The major risk is living too long and dying too soon, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you die too soon, you want to have that protection in place. But if you live too long, is your life insurance policy?
The conversation. Speak your truth.
What is your life insurance policy going to do for you at age 65 if that's the only thing you have? It's not going to do nothing for you. You would much rather have $500,000 to $2 million in an account than page 6 of a life insurance policy. So a lot of people, they come to me.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question, because you just said something. There's mothers out here who have these sons that are in the streets. Some of these kids are getting killed 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. What kind of policy do they put on their kids? If you know your child is in the street, you know your kid is in the street, you know what comes from being in the street, what policy do you put on him? Because guess what? There are people that's listening to this and saying, little man selling drugs every day. He don't want to go to school. He done dropped out. He hanging with the wrong crowd. I'm scared something gonna happen to him. What should she do?
So that is a loaded question, but I'm just gonna answer it simply, right? You have to put protection on your children while they're young, right? Because there's something called a contestability phase. Let's use Lil Man for instance, right? Let's say Lil Man, he in the streets. You didn't get life insurance on him until last week, right? Now Lil Man gets shot. You think that life insurance company is going to just pay out that policy right off the bat? Most companies have a 2-year contestability phase, which means that as long as the person didn't do anything criminal, suicidal, right, or to cause their death, they can pay out the death benefit. But if they did, they don't have to pay out the life insurance. So the companies are finding ways to remain solvent, to make sure that they have money. So if you're waiting, and that's another thing, a lot of people don't know that. They think like, okay, I could just go buy life insurance tomorrow. Something happens to my child because he's in the streets. We have to deal with the issue of these kids being in the streets, and it is our problem. It's not, oh, they just in the streets and they went and got shot around the corner from our house. Why are we not talking to our neighbors to figure out who the hell is the other child's mom, so that we can have some kind of understanding? Y'all can't sit on our corner. But again, most people are working paycheck to paycheck. They're tired. They just want to hope that their kids are doing the right thing. They don't have time to do that because of their money issues. But life insurance is a business. Again, they're not going to just go out here and protect high-risk people. So what I tell people to do is make sure you have life insurance. It's called a rider. a child rider. You can get a child rider on your policy with certain companies. I know that I do it. You can have a child rider where you're paying for your children on your policy as well, up until their age 23 on average, I think. I know that's what my company does, up until age 23. Then they can convert into their own policy, right? And that also does two things for your child. Let's say if you have a policy on your child while they're young, and then they take that same policy and transfer it into an adult policy, in some instances, they're able to have guaranteed insurability, which means they don't have to prove that they're healthy or they're insurable up to a certain amount, because a lot of people are finding illnesses in their young age. And because that parent didn't have life protection on them while they were younger, they are no longer insurable. So the thing that you want to do is make sure you protect your children in their younger age and taking care of, having that money there as they get older. But if you have to do it right now, we have to talk about the violence issue in our community, because these companies won't just pay out the policy if they're out there getting shot. They find out that some kind of criminal action was behind their death.
That's good. I'm glad you answered the one question. Like, what's the youngest that you should get a life insurance policy for?
Baby. Not 3 months. They start protecting children.
All right. Second question. Somebody posted, if they were going to the store, they're not into anything, and they happen, God forbid, to get shot. What happens? Like, what's the quick? Do they do are they going to pay out? That's what they wanted to know.
It just depends on how long they had that policy. If it's beyond that contestability phase, they have to pay out 2 years, right? You had that policy for 2 years, paying for it on time, keeping it in good stance, right? Then after 2 years, they have to pay the policy out. But let's say they did it before that non-contestability phase. They can contest it. They'll investigate what happened. And if you have a good policy, they are going to pay out that death benefit.
Okay.
I have a quick interjection. If it is an accident, and I guess they find, well, I don't say guess, but they find out the person that was shot and killed didn't have anything to do with it, depending on how your policy is set up, you can have extra accidental coverage on top of the coverage that you have. So say you have 100,000, just in say term or whole life, and then you add additional coverage on top of that, which may only up the policy, say $5, $7, at most maybe $10, depending on how much coverage you're adding on top of that. If that person did die in an accident, they could be paid, the family could be paid double because it was an accident. So like car accident, I think when it's like a bus, with some companies, when it's like a bus, an airplane, a train, and you're like a carrier on it, it may be 3 times the amount or something like that. Depending on the company, you can get extra for accidental death.
Yeah, I don't recommend the accidental death policies at all, only because they range so widely. They do work like that. Like if they die some kind of way, like it was an accident, you can be paid double. But again, the stipulations in those policies are so direct. Like they list exactly what can happen. And if it's not on there, they don't have to pay it out. And that extra $7 and $10 that you're paying for an accidental policy, if you put that into an investment vehicle, you can make way more money over time. But I understand, again, why some people carry those accidental death policies, but I don't recommend them personally.
I love this. It's like we could probably go on and on and on, but again, I'm like when we play music, sometimes we have artists on one of the shows that's on Sadior Radio. I don't play the full song because the simple fact, people are lazy and they sit there and listen to the whole song instead of going to give those people those streams or giving those people those likes or numbers or anything like that. So on this note, is it anything, because I'm closing out the show because you're giving too much information. They need to call you and find out, what they need to know. So yeah, I'm hating y'all. Be mad at me. But dig this. I appreciate you so much. This show is exactly, I think, and Miss Darkchild and Simply D can co-sign me if I'm right or wrong. This is exactly what we thought about when we thought about doing this show.
Yes.
It's been great. It's been wonderful. But before we let you go, is it anything that you feel as though that we didn't ask or you would like to say to our viewers and our listeners and to our podcast listeners and to the YouTube watchers and all this other stuff that we on? Is it anything that you would like to say?
The only thing, I mean, you touched on everything, but I just want to touch on how important it is to keep on building your mindset around everything, like making sure that you're staying positive, making sure that you're telling yourself the truth, telling yourself that you are God made, that you are a king, that you are a queen, making sure that you're sending yourself those positive images every single day, some kind of way, because that helps with wealth building as well. Like it all happens in the mind. Until you deal with the issue that's in your mind, you can't really deal with anything in your finances. And look, you go on my page, I give free information all day, every single day. You call me, it's complimentary. I find you a service. That's the only thing that you pay for. So like y'all said, I absolutely love what I do. This is the only thing you'll ever see me doing. And, maybe some kind of consulting in my future, but I just love the opportunity. I thank y'all so much for having an amazing platform like this. And I'm going to be tuning in every single time I have a chance and making sure that I get y'all name out there as well, because y'all are doing some great things for the community just by having these conversations. And I really appreciate y'all.
And I know I asked you probably 5 or 6 times, but give your information one more time.
No, it's all good. So my Instagram and Facebook is Sima Young, Sima Young, Sima Young. I'm gonna do it like a rapper. Sima Young, Sima Young, Sima Young. Okay, so it's Sima Young. And like I said, I have so many tips on there if you just scroll through my page, especially on Instagram. And if you need to reach me on my phone, you can call me, and believe me, all them guys out there that think you calling me, hey, sweetheart.
I was going to say that.
I am taken.com. And, this man is huge.
I am taken.com. I like that one.
I'm taken.com, and I know how to curve you and still help your family. You be like, well, Dad, well, thank you so much, right? How'd you do that? So, yeah, so definitely you can call me at 302-743-5311.
Say it again.
302-743-5311.
And if you didn't get it, someone that was watching the show put it in the comments. So all you have to do is go to the rebroadcast and look at the comments, and you'll see her number, just in case you didn't get her number. So somebody asked in the comments and somebody else put it up. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Good looking out. So, okay, the other Miss Young, anything that we didn't bring to the table or you would like to say, or,
I'm like, she covered a lot. She done taught me stuff. So, it was definitely a good call. I feel like this is a conversation that does need to be definitely talked about more. It is a selfless act for a lot of people, because a lot of people, want to do stuff and they're like, what's in it for me? And this is one of them things where you're looking at your generations, your children, your grandchildren, even the ones you can't see, because of decisions that you're making today, setting them up for the future. So it's definitely a good investment to get into, and to sit down with an agent that, knows the business, that can explain to you the different types of policies that fit your life. Like I said, she covered, every time I'm like, she got it. Yeah, so
we need to talk. I definitely want to connect with you, because I love sharing industry secrets, all that stuff. Girl, you building a big business, baby. Don't be out here play. Don't play.
So but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as me being reached, I'm mainly in Philadelphia, in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. But like I said, I'm licensed in a few different states as well. We have our site up. It's Insured by Us on Facebook and on Instagram. So you can find us on Facebook or Instagram. So Insured, INSURED by Us. So BY and then US by Us. So you can find us. I'm Janae Young, if you don't know how to pronounce my name. And my partner that I work with is India Peterson. So you'll see me or her posting different tips as well. Sometimes we're in the field seeing clients. Sometimes we're, on the phone, depending on how we have things set up. So we post our tips and some of our daily activity and just stuff like that. And we're looking for agents as well. So we're going to start hiring soon to train. So yeah, but definitely excited. You said I didn't go to the chats to check your name. How did you say to find your page? Is it
It's
Wasima?
Sima and your last
Okay,
name.
Sima. Okay, I'll find.
I said your
Sima.
last name. That was easy.
Yeah, and your last name.
So Miss Darkchild, what we have going on? I appreciate both of y'all. Miss Darkchild, you have anything? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
She's still on
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Time check 7:48. You're still listening to Sadior Presents an Open Conversation. Tonight was very informative. This should be I'm gonna put it out there, part one of a two-part series, because there was a lot of things that I still feel that people need to be covered with all these shootings and these killings that's going on and people dying from this COVID. We still need to touch on COVID policies. So somebody give us some numbers or some information on that, and also with our young folks dying. So the very old and the very young. So that definitely needs to be a part two of where we are and what we're talking about. We appreciate y'all ladies coming. Thanks. We're glad we were able to allow y'all to have a family reunion with the same last names.
Hey.
So that was just out of sight. They was like, yeah, and you the tellers, and yeah, you the last name girl, you was at the cookout. No, I wasn't. Acting up. So they was getting it in for a minute. I was like, well, we at the family reunion, so I'm gonna sit back and just enjoy this one. So, but we appreciate y'all. 20-year level
term.
That's right. I wrote it down. I just missed the last word. 20-year level term. That's what I got out of it. So when I get off, I'm gonna look into that. It's a lot of things coming. Ladies, I explained, not that y'all might be interested, but interested this weekend on Sunday, self-defense, with a lot that's going on with the ladies out here, carried or non-carried, whether you're licensed to carry or you're not licensed to carry. As Darkchild is got an instructor that's coming in that's going to teach us women how to purchase firearms, how to protect ourselves, whether it's with or without a firearm, whether it's concealed or not concealed. Because I know when I went into the store to purchase a firearm, the guy told me what he wanted to tell me, sold me the firearm. I came home and I thought I was, and as I read and learn, that's really not what was needed for me, for somebody that's concealed carry. So I know women have a lot of questions about self-protection with them stealing cars and moving to the side. They see you driving up in something nice. I want you to be able to hit your target and hit it right. And and we need to be there to protect ourselves. A lot of us, we kiss our booze goodbye and we off. We need to be able to protect ourselves and our kids getting in and out of cars and everything. So this weekend, I got a class going on. It'll be a couple weekends in a row. Question and answer, the first couple of classes. Then he's going to assist us at an actual gun store, which is closed, but it'll be open to us. We can go in, test different firearms, and then the last class we're going to go out to Delaware to go out to the range and shoot. So anybody interested, hit me up on DM me. I'm DAT, Dat Girl Comedy, on Facebook and Instagram. DAT. You know how you say, ooh, that girl was funny. That's me. I'm DAT, Dat Girl Comedy on Facebook and Instagram. Nothing is coming up. Comedy is slow right now. Everything is going to be online because of the pandemic. But I look forward to coming back and seeing y'all live.
Yes.
Meantime, we here every second and third Thursday.
To the second Young that was on the show, what's the logo on your Instagram?
The Insured by Us?
Yes.
Yes, that's the company that I'm under.
Yeah,
well, what is the logo?
I see a few. That's why I said, what's your logo?
Oh, okay. It's the Insured by Us on Instagram. It should only be one, I will hope, unless
No,
Somebody made it up.
No, you never know nowadays.
I got three of them on here, babe. That's why I said, what's your logo?
Wow. It's white. It's a white background and insured by us. I think it may be in gold and purple.
Okay, got it. I see that. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
It sent your request.
What you got going on, Simply D?
Other than this writing, I entered this writing contest. You can win $20,000 for something they told you to write about, which I just did. I'm about to submit that. So I just been writing that. I've been readjusting some things with the intertwined series that we're doing, and still writing my books and still fighting a good fight with the family court that wants to kill young or older Black men because you got greedy people who want to use the system to get stuff that they don't deserve. So I'm still fighting that fight, and I'm going to continue to fight that fight as long as I have breath in me. And that's about it.
So again, I think.
All right, well, Simply D, real quick, Simply D, in the universe, that 20,000, you gonna claim it like it's yours.
Oh,
what you put out into the universe is what you get back.
Because I'm coming in first place. Trust and believe that.
So again,
all right.
I want to thank our guests that came on, and of course, my lovely co-hosts that been rocking out since 2013 on this Sadior Presents Open Conversation show. And again, check us out the first and third Thursday here. If you missed any of the show, you can go to YouTube and search Sadior Radio, the station that's more than music, and it's also a podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, just go and search Sadior Radio. My last words is this: we have to reprogram the way we think as people. We have to utilize the technology and different people that's willing to give information to help us as far as educating ourselves with things that we never paid attention to that will be beneficial to yourself and to your family and to your lifestyle that you live. It's not hard. We pay attention to Jay-Z and Beyonce and all these other individuals far as that's in the entertainment business, which I'm not taking anything away from that. I'm in the entertainment business. But at the same time, we have to start focusing on things that's important to us and to our family first. There's a couple of things that our guest said. And one is that far as saving money, at least 3 months of your income. Last year, we went through something that a lot of people lost their job and they got stuck because they didn't have that 3 months of income saved. A lot of people suffered through that whole C-19 when it first started, and they're still suffering 2021. So that tells you that we have to go about things a little differently, look at things a little differently, and move a little differently. And again, I thank my guests, I thank my co-hosts, and I thank all the viewers that was on Facebook and people that's going to watch this on our YouTube and listen on our podcast. Thanks again, and everybody have a great night, and make sure y'all reach out and get that great information that was given tonight. Everybody have a great evening. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.